Wagwan, everybody. Lennox here from Simple123 Trader. This is a weekly outlook for the week of February 13th to February 18th. And I'm going to take a look at the markets in the futures and the Forex and the cryptocurrencies, the US indices as well. And so starting off, I'm just going to take a look at the US dollar. And I am on the monthly time frame for the US dollar. So overall, we are in a very strong move to the upside currently in the US dollar. In the last month, it's been a struggle, but it's still pushing to the upside. So looking for continued moves to the upside. I'm going to go down to the weekly and take a closer look. So you can see it's in a little bit of a battle right now. A very strong support resistance area right across the board here. So it's hence the reason why it's having such a battle. On the daily, we would look for continued movements. You can see that we're kind of in a line like that. I would look for continued push to the upside. Now, we could, of course, get a break to the downside. That's totally possible. But right now, it looks overall like we're pushing to the upside for the US, strong US dollar going into this week. This would be the last line of defense. So if we do get a turnaround to the downside, which is again possible. I'll just go in a little closer on the 4 hour just to take a closer look. And it looks relatively. This is a double bottom here. It looks very strong overall that we should push back to the upside a little bit in the upcoming week. So strong US dollar. What that tells us then for the euro, we would get a weak euro going into this week. So looking for continued moves to the downside for the euro as the week plays out. That would also give us a weak Aussie. So we'd be looking for continued movement. And you can see from here on the Aussie, we have this setup and looking again like we're going to push to the downside. That would also give us a weak GBP. So if I take a look at the GBP, I can find it here. This is the GBP, British pound. We would look for weakness in the British pound going into this week as well. So this is what the US dollar does for us. When you can discern what the US dollar is doing, you can play the other currencies, the other major currencies. So if I take a look now at the Japanese yen, for instance, we should be looking for a move to the upside, similar to what the US dollar is doing. So that's what I'd be looking for overall in those. The USD CAD and USD Swiss also to the upside. Okay. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is basically the controller for the rest of the currency of the cryptocurrencies, similar to what the US dollar is for the major pairs. And right now we have a good strong move. Looks like we're going to get another push to the upside here for the crypto, for the Bitcoin. This is in line with the fall to the downside. We should get a retrace now back up into this area. And at that point, we could see further moves back to the downside. That's totally possible. But if for the upcoming week, some strength in Bitcoin going forward. All right, let's take a look at gold. And gold, I'm going to go a little higher on this one. Go to the weekly on this. Gold right now has been in a very consolidated area for quite a while, still stuck in there, trying to push out. Overall, I would expect the price to move to the upside based on the overall pattern from way down below. So, but we're still in a consolidation mode, and you can see it's trying very hard to push out, but it's going to hit some serious resistance in this area. So that's, we could expect some gyrations in here before we get that break to the upside. Okay, we could even come back down a little bit first before we get that break, but strength in gold overall, I would say, in any case. All right, let's take a look at crude oil. I haven't looked at crude oil for a while. Okay, let's go to the weekly crude oil. Like I was saying, for the past few weeks, crude oil strength just nonstop, deep into winter months in the eastern seaboard and so forth of the United States. The weather has just been harsh, and yeah, crude oil just doesn't want to abate, and it's just still very strong, looking like more strength going into this week as well. All right, let's take a look at the currency, the U.S. technology group, the indices, U.S. technology. I'm going to go to the weekly on this. So on the weekly, I'm seeing very weak setups here, and looks like we're going to be heading down in this coming week. It's overall looking rather bleak, especially for the U.S. technology group. Don't see any reprieve, any bounces to the upside, opportunities to sell to the downside. Let's take a look at the Dow, US 30, also very oblique, and any moves, any pushes to the upside, opportunities to sell to the downside. Everything's looking rather bleak. Even if I look at the S&P, which is same, you can see this exact same pattern. The Russell 2000, same type of thing, very bleak, pushing to the downside. So overall, not looking so good for the U.S. stock market as we move into tomorrow. All right, so that's a quick look at what's setting up for the week. It looks like it's going to be a very volatile one as usual, and hope everybody can join us for our live sessions every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We go in depth into the markets, looking at the Forex and the stock market, looking at options and the indices for opportunities for profit. Be safe. I'm done now. Thank you.